The IDF have released drone footage taken over Gaza in the last 2 months. The clips suggest, as per IDF, that Hamas is building terror tunnels to store weapons and mobilize fighters right next to populated areas. They say a cement factory is nearby, where concrete arches are made for the tunnels, and Hamas flags clearly stand on display. Israel has long argued that Hamas puts Palestinian civilians at risk with such facilities amidst the civilian population.
Once again, supporters of Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr occupy Iraq's parliament. But this time they vow to stay put until their demands are met.
We reject corruption and corrupt politicians. Sudan is a tool in the hands of foreign powers. He and his colleagues work against Iraq. He won't do anything for our benefit.
A pro-Iranian bloc called the Coordination Framework has nominated Mohammed Shia al-Sudani for Prime Minister. These protesters have linked him to former Premier Nouri al-Maliki.
Tonight, this video appears to show Chinese space debris apparently re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, crashing into the Indian Ocean. The social media post out of Malaysia showing fireballs, what may be pieces of China's most powerful rocket, burning up on re-entry. The rocket, which launched last week, was taking a new scientific lab up to China's space station. But once delivered, the rocket was in free fall, traveling more than 17,000 miles an hour once in Earth's orbit, hurtling towards, well, all of us. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said the risk to the general public was low, which it is relatively. But in a statement today, NASA criticized China for the lack of transparency, saying sharing information is vital to ensure the safety of people here on Earth. Allowing rockets to return home uncontrolled doesn't break any laws, but it's bad behavior.
The governor of New York State has declared an emergency in response to the monkeypox outbreak. Kathy Hochul said that more than a quarter of all monkeypox cases in the United States have been detected in New York. Among other new measures, the executive order will enable more health professionals, including pharmacists and midwives, to administer vaccines. Meanwhile, Spain announced a second death from monkeypox. The 2 cases in Spain and 1 in Brazil are the first known fatalities outside the African continent.
Over 400 people have been able to disembark after being rescued in the Mediterranean Sea in 4 separate operations last week. A German humanitarian organization's maritime rescue ship, Sea-Watch 3, arrived in the port of Taranto in southern Italy in the early hours of Saturday. Among those able to dock were 117 unaccompanied minors and 34 women, 4 of them pregnant. According to officials, the people are currently going through registration and medical care before reaching the first reception structures. Italy's Interior Ministry says from January to July, 34,000 people arrived in Italy by sea, almost 10,000 more than over the same period last year.
Residents of Marianhill in KwaZulu-Natal are in mourning after 7 people were murdered last night. Gunmen opened fire on a tuckshop. Police believe a sangoma was the intended target. A manhunt is currently underway for the suspects. KwaZulu-Natal Safety MEC Peggy Nkonyeni and Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi are due to visit the area this hour.
A visibly weary Pope has admitted he may have to slow down. Speaking to journalists on the way back from a high-profile trip to Canada, The 85-year-old pontiff has said he won't rule retirement out if ill health means he's unable to continue his busy schedule of international travel. During much of the pontiff's visit, he relied on a wheelchair due to knee pain. Pope Francis is suffering from torn knee ligaments and sciatica and has been slowed by major intestinal surgery last year when part of his colon was removed.
Tonight, this raging wildfire exploding along the California-Oregon border. The National Forest Service estimates the McKinney fire has scorched between 30 and 40,000 acres in less than 24 hours, destroying several homes in the Klamath River community. Here, only a chimney still stands. Flames forcing the evacuations of more than 500 homes. The inferno spreading rapidly, fueled by the relentless heat and extreme drought conditions. This time-lapse showing a giant plume above the ridgeline, producing dangerous lightning that can spread flames. Firefighters attacking it on the ground and from the air. So far, 0% contained.
Late today, the White House announcing that the president had again tested positive for COVID after 4 days of negative tests. The president says he has no symptoms and he's feeling fine, tweeting out a video with his dog Commander saying he is continuing to work. President Biden wearing a mask as he signed another order to help those impacted by the flooding in Kentucky. The president ended his COVID isolation on Wednesday with an appearance in the Rose Garden. The 79-year-old last seen in public on Thursday and was expected to travel to Delaware tomorrow. The president's doctor labeling this a rebound infection after his treatment with the COVID drug Paxlovid.